have you guys heard the news? Obviously you have. You couldn't wake up today without hearing the news and seeing the news. I woke up this morning and was trying to go about my normal day, but as I was checking the news, the one thing that you saw was the overturning of Roe versus Wade, which was the abortion laws that were made national in the 1970s. And man, it's always been such a crazy thing that people fight over, and people are very, very either against or for. And you see, I mean, some of these people, I think, are being too hyperbolic when it comes to such a sensitive subject, especially when it comes to having to get through that procedure if you were to actually have an abortion. It seems like this leak happened so that the overturning could have some opposition. The Supreme Court had the vote, and this information was leaked. And now this is a hugely polarizing subject. This gets people very emotional on both sides, and they have very valid points. You have very valid points. I mean, you shouldn't be running around having sex and then having 8 abortions. But when things happen and it's risky for the mother, then you could understand why you would have to do that. But it gets weird whenever people start talking about economics and, we'll kill this baby now because we can't afford it, we'll do it later, and that just gets really weird, man. That gets really weird. And I'm not very religious. I don't look at it from a religious standpoint, but from my personal experiences, it's not a very light subject, and it's not a very easy thing to deal with. Having friends who have went through different situations and scenarios, and then realizing afterwards maybe they didn't quite make the right decision, but maybe they did. It's a crazy one. But with that being said, it's not like abortions aren't in the Constitution. So how could they actually make it legal federally? Other than, I guess, I mean, I don't know. It's so weird. You just see so many people talking about how men are making decisions for women, but the Supreme Court was nothing but men when they decided Roe versus Wade. And now you have 3 women on the bench now, and it's overturned. So there's more women in there, and now it's being overturned. So it's way more than just men wanting to control women's bodies. I know that that's a hyperbolic political statement that they can use to try to build their case, but I don't think it's realistic in that sense. So where does this go from here? Now, they are saying that apparently the decision was supposed to be released in June. So now you have plenty of time to prepare for that. And as soon as the leaks came out last night, I discovered about it this morning, but the leaks happened last night. People were literally down at the Supreme Court protesting, either protesting or counter-protesting. You had pro and anti, which of course you're going to get in a crazy subject like this. I don't think that. I mean, I have a hard time thinking about it, though, because there's a lot of states out there who want to make it illegal outright. And then there's others who want to let you have an abortion all the way up to the 9th month. So we do live in America, and my opinion is leave it to the states. Let the states decide it. I like being able to decide which state I want to go to, because that's going to be its personality, and it's going to have different laws. It's not going to be the exact same, which, let's be real here, most of the place, other than the weather, most of these places are the same. Everything's kind of like samesies already as it is, especially here in America. It's such a new country. Everything was kind of built closer to the same time, so it's not like we have a huge, crazy history of stuff here. So, but now it's going to be interesting to see, because moving into the future, moving into June, are there going to be crazy protests, but instead being race motivated like the last couple years? Is it going to be motivated now by the abortion rights? Now we're going to be seeing a lot of protests coming out for that. And man, it's weird, because and you can't take anecdotal evidence as a real thing. But I all the people that I've met who are pro-choice don't look at it as it's a positive thing. Now, we'll see people on the internet saying, "Oh, I love my abortions. Give me a coat hanger. It's the greatest time in the world." They make all these horrendous jokes, and it's not doing anyone any favors by making those jokes. But you want to be a disgusting demon, be a disgusting demon. It's America. That's your right. You can do that. It doesn't seem like even the people who are pro-choice agree that it's a positive thing. It seems like they're not even happy about it either, and it's not a fun, happy thing to think about and have to go through. And that's just me as a woman myself. As a woman myself, I can explain. You see what I did there? This is a complicated subject, because it doesn't really. I would never encourage anyone to get an abortion unless it was like something that was really going to kill the mother or going to hurt the mother or something like that, or barring any crazy, ridiculous circumstances. And you know how small those circumstances are. When those types of things happen, I do agree, yeah, you should get an abortion. If you got raped and you don't want to have the rapist's baby, I understand that, sure. But I just don't think that it's healthy to be able to pull these things out of your body all willy-nilly. But again, I mean, who's to say? Not my opinion whether you should or shouldn't. I don't think you should. I don't think it's a good idea. I think psychologically it has negative effects in the future. Maybe not, and that could totally depend on the person. But that's just how I feel about it. It's very interesting to see everyone's reactions and how crazy people get with it. And it just makes me wonder, like, how are you thinking about this every single day, all the time? So at the end of the day, this is going to be a journey. This was a leak. It wasn't supposed to be released. They were supposed to release it in June. But now, someone who's politically motivated, who works within the Supreme Court, had to have leaked it purposely so that they could jar up some type of interest and some type of support to help fight against it. Because if it's not official, maybe, just maybe, they could make their decisions and they could change their minds. They really have nothing to lose, especially when it comes to it's already on the books. It's already being approved. This was a draft approval, and now we're waiting to see if it's going to actually go through. But they're saying that it's not, and now you're seeing a bunch of different people, Biden, Chuck Schumer, and all these people say that they need to codify it. They need to make sure that it's one of the laws that are going to be here and be here forever. And I just don't see the motivation from people. It doesn't seem like it's that important of a motivation for people. Some people it is, obviously, but some things are motivations for everybody at certain points in time. But I don't think you're going to get the whole country on the side of this decision. Either way, they say that it's 69% of Americans support abortion rights, but then I see other polls where it says 52% of Americans don't support abortion rights. And if it's so polarizing like that, what is the problem of having it down to the states? If the people in those states want to make their decisions, then what is the problem with them making their decisions? Surely, if it is illegal in certain areas, you will have to drive further to get the operation done, or the procedure. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm sure it's probably a little bit of both, but And that would be a hindrance on getting and having the procedure done, and those doctors getting paid so that they won't have anywhere to work. They have to go and work in the other states, and they can't work here anymore. So those poor doctors are going to lose money. But I don't know, man. I don't know. This is an interesting one. I'm not really on I'm not really super motivated about this one. This is one that I've always kind of paid attention to, but never really got involved with myself. It just never seemed like something I was interested in. But it's crazy to me to see how many people are fascinated by it, how many people love it, and how many people are really, really looking forward to killing babies.